Where did it begin for us? Where did our journey start?
Studying about Newton and playing with the prisms.
Why is Newton so important to this study? What did he do?
Because he discovered that light's made up of a lot of different particles and colors rather than it's not just one thing.
Here's the eye socket, and this would be the depth of the eye, which I think this is the cow, right?
Yep.
And then we also looked at the length between both eye sockets and the length of the nose cavity.
In here, you can grab for yourself the following materials. A scalpel. Notice the scalpel has a blade cover on it. Student dissecting. You want to do sheep or a pig?
Pig.
You want to do pig? Okay, great.
Wait,
Oh, I said the pig
Sheep is bigger than a pig. You want to do sheep? So you've got a ton of fatty tissue on the side. This right here is your sclera, okay? All of this is fatty tissue and muscle.
You want to cut some?
Well, this is the cross-section, what there's.
I don't want to mess up. It's getting kind of rough.
Here and here.
But we found the optic nerve right here, and it's like really well preserved and really hard. So right now we have to trim around that, and then when we find where it connects, then we'll start dissecting.
Good. You are almost down to the sclera now. Okay, so are you starting to see the spherical shape of the eye itself better?
The sclera, and it's
There's
just
your iris.
kind of, it's outside of the iris.
That's your lens.
Okay.
And that's your
I don't know what.
going around like this,
Oh!
so that you get two eyes, okay? And then this hole that I'm literally sticking my probe into, that's your pupil.
Could we take out the lens and like see if it works?
Sure.
That's the retina right there, right?
Where do you develop film?
Can you? In a dark room?
So why is the inside of the eye black? Think about it
So
from
that
that standpoint.
you don't mess up the film?
That's right.
So it's like that normally, and then
So
it retracts.
think about my window for a second, right? There's my window. My window's not going to change size, but what I can change is how the curtains flood in and around behind it to allow light in.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's exactly how the iris works.
And same thing with like a camera and shutter.
Yeah, yeah. Sweet. Yeah, you made it. That's the connection.
It's the tapetum, and it's at night what like reflects. When the light comes in, it can reflect it back out, so they can see at night, and it's really pretty. It's got like nice blues and greens, and it's holographic.
We took off the retina, which was like this stuff. It was like this tissue that, sort of like this screen or the film where the image is captured on your eye. And then the part where the retina is connected is right here. And that's the blind spot because there's no light recepting cells there, so you can't see that. And then that is connected to here. This is the optic nerve.
And it takes
And
it
then
back to the
that,
brain.
yes, connected to the brain where it takes it back.
And then you can see.
That is beautiful. Get a shot of that on your camera. That is nice cross section. Good work.
Great. I want a picture of it.
What I would like you to do between now and next Tuesday is start talking to the people that you want to build the eye with about your plans. How are you going to make this 3D structure for other people to learn about the eye?
When making this eye model, we wanted to show that form follows function. Not so much that it looks like an eye, but that it actually functions as an eye.
The outer covering, it's called the sclera on a real eye. It is built for protection.
The cornea is the first layer of refraction. It's represented by this lens. And the iris is represented by this camera iris piece, which can open and close just as the iris would function on a regular eye. Here, this bubble wrap and sponges represent the vitreous humor, which serves as a protection and a place for the lens to rest on.
You close it up.
The image comes in through here.
When you look at it from under, it actually looks like the whole eye comes together. So you get multiple perspectives of it.
We started out with sclera, protecting like outer layer of the eye. So we made that of something tough. We used a basketball,
We have a biconvex lens in there.
which means the outer parts of it are both curved.
And we also painted it black because up here is the retina.
Yeah,
And
we
we tried to make it as realistic color-wise
Yeah.
and physically as possible.
And for the iris, I would make a spiral so it could just kind of collapse in on itself if it needed to become smaller. The iris is really what lets light into the eye.
We have a lot of fatty tissue made from cotton balls, and
And muscle tissue.
yeah, and muscle tissue. And here is our optic nerve. The optic nerve connects the light that's coming from the eye to the brain, because the eye is only used to receive light and take light in, while the brain actually creates the image. And that's why a lot of memory affects how you see things.
During this time period, they started thinking empirically, doing research, like hands-on research, experimenting with different things themselves.
I was personally very, affected by optics in general, and I started getting interested in math suddenly, and I started getting interested in science, and I started getting interested in all of my classes. And this kind of confirmed that you could be interested in many things and still succeed and still do well. And I don't know, I just felt a connection with all the philosophers and philosophers and all the
Yeah.
enlightened people that we were talking about, just because they were so interested in so many different themes.
I kind of feel like we're philosophers ourselves,
Yeah.
because like we, even if we don't want to at first, we're kind of forced into exploring different areas that we wouldn't necessarily.
And I think that's what really made this enlightened period that we're learning about thrive, because people were just exploring and exploring, and I feel like as a person I'm thriving because I'm just exploring and exploring.